Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you your predicted lineup for tomorrow's Premier League clash, Tottenham Hotspur versus Crystal Palace. And look, I have co-host here, Jack. He's bringing the jerk sauce tomorrow because we're going to be eating some eagle wings, aren't we, Jack?
No, we're going to be absolutely lathering those eagle wings in a bit of jerk sauce, a bit of marinade, David, maybe a bit of Cajun on it as well, just to spice things up. I know Hoy Biarginho is going to be eating all of them eagle wings tomorrow. He probably likes a bit of eagle drumsticks, probably you consider that. But let's just crack into this predicted lineup, everybody. It's going to be probably a bit obvious, maybe to start with, Dave. Hugo Lloris, Don Lloris in goal. He's been fantastic, this season so far. Of course, he's had some quiet games where not a lot has gone near him or anything like that. But simultaneously, I would say Lloris has had also some spectacular saves as well. So, the more the merrier from Lloris.
No, look, at the end of the day, 3 clean sheets is all you can ask for. And look, I think he's definitely improved on last season. Last season was a bit up and down for him. And I think he's definitely improved on it. And it's good to see him back to his very best, I have to say. And look, hopefully we can get another clean sheet tomorrow, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hope so. But maybe we can just go on to a bit of the contentious ones. Maybe we'll just start with the center backs, David. I think that'd be a bit interesting if we go there. Usually we start with fullbacks, but I'm going to spice things up and go with center backs. We're going to go with Moon Boots for left side at center back here today. I think Moon Boots, I hope he just continues this good spell of form. It's been fantastic. He's even rocking the sleeveless, shirts, showing off the guns in training, David. Seems like he's getting a bit of ahead of himself, probably starting to think about the ashes and where he wants to scatter them, in the stadium. But Moon Boots, honestly, he's been pretty great so far, and hopefully he can be very reliable tomorrow.
Yeah, look, with Moon Boots, I'd rather be wearing them, short sleeve T-shirts and flashing off the guns on the training pitch rather than sitting in a chair talking nonsense to the press anyway, Jack. That's for sure. But look, I'll be honest with you. I think Moon Boots has had a very good start to the season. I think he's looked solid in there, and I just want more of the same. He's going to have a difficult task tomorrow, whether it be Benteke or Edouard or even both. He's going to be up against it. He doesn't have his usual partner in crime beside him, Sanchez, of course, with him being out. So, look, he's the man that we're looking to lead at centre-back tomorrow, and I think he'll do the job.
I think he'll do the job as well, David. Moving on to my right-sided center-back, I've gone for Tanganga, David. What do you think? Is Jaffa capable of playing right-sided center-back? Is he going to even be playing right-sided center-back? Obviously, Rodon might be available. He was in training. He didn't look like he was injured, even though that's been kind of the common rhetoric towards him, that he's, recovering from some injury of some kind. Who do you think is going to be right-sided center-back, Dave? Tanganga, Rodon?
Do you know what, Jack? This is a hard one. I was thinking about Rodon before already. But the thing is we at Tottenham TV made a good point during the week. He did meet up with Wales, didn't play. He usually starts for them. So it's him not starting for Wales, maybe an indication of where he's at. He didn't have much of a preseason either. So maybe this game might just come a bit too soon. So I will go with Manhandler, to be honest with you. I know he's had great games out on the right. He's the richest boy in London, about 200 million. But, Jack, long-term, I do see this guy as a centre-back. I've said it when he first broke into the team. And he for me, he is a centre-back. And hopefully he is given his chance tomorrow there to prove his worth.
Yeah, all I would say to Jaffa is just don't report, those incomes, that you had, from the Man City game and from other games as well, Manhandler, just don't report it, just, kind of cash transactions, Dave. It's just something, Tanganga, he deserves, the whole, he deserves every zero from how many he took from Sterling and Grealish. So I feel like he's just going to have to find, a good tax man, to get out of that situation.
Just quickly, Jack, do you think, I'm just thinking this there now, do you think it might be a possibility that we could even end up seeing Davies come in at left-sided centre-back, Dyer move to the right, and Gang out on right-back?
This could be actually the moment for that, 5 in the back. And I think it's hard to say whether, there probably been plenty of other Spurs fans that have considered this, for this upcoming game. It's just we haven't seen it in the Premier League. We've seen it in the Europa Conference League, and we know Nuno is fully capable of it. But weirdly as well, we've seen our best football in this 4 in the back. We've seen our best football in this 4 in the back with the same midfield that we'll probably go on to. But David, it's a really good shout. If it were, maybe we could stop here. If it were to be that 5 in the back, we could probably list our 11. I think we're going to go with a 4-3-3 though, David, here. But if it were to be a 5 in the back, I agree. I think it would be Moon Boots, left-sided center back, Tanganga, right-sided center back, and then possibly maybe somebody like Rodon maybe in the middle.
Yeah, very, very, very well could be. Very, very well could. Very well.
Or Ben Davies,
Yeah.
Davies, like you said, just one of our Welsh boys, could be in there. So I do think that would make plenty of sense. You're actually right there. And actually, that means then Moon Boots, sorry, excuse me, would have to move to maybe the center of that center back system.
Yeah, look, it could be, Ben Davies left side of centre back, Moon Boots, and even throw Joe Roden in there and keep Tangang out at right wing back or something like that. You don't know, but look,
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, just something like that, yeah. But look, you did make a good point, Jack. It isn't something that we have seen in the Premier League so far. Look, if it is something that Nuno is maybe thinking about coming into the Palace game playing with three centre backs and two wing backs, maybe it is a good opportunity to try it out. Look, that's just something to put out there for the people to think about. And just basically, I wouldn't be surprised if you do see that, if you were to see that tomorrow. But me and Jack, we do prefer the 4-3-3. So we are going to stick with it with Moon Boots and Tanganga as a centre back pairing.
I would love to see us integrate that 5 in the back system, though, maybe for games like this, maybe when we are a bit short on certain players in certain areas. But weirdly, our midfield is actually the one that's actually still quite, full, not too many injuries there, especially with Skippy, apparently his injury not being too much. It does seem like we're actually plenty sufficient there. So we probably don't need to maybe put any more defenders, into the lineup. So Reguilón is going to be my left back, though, David. Do you feel like Reguilón, is he going to be coming up against Zaha this game? Is he going to be kind of just dealing with, the rotating winger of Zaha? Or do you feel like maybe it might be the right back they'll be dealing with Zaha?
I don't know, Jack. It's interesting because, look, Zaha, he has played out on the left for them and he has played out on the right for them. So I really don't know. It's a tough call. Look, if I was Vieira, surely you're going to put Zaha on the wing that you think is going to get most joy. And I would say he might get more change out of Reguilón. Tanganga's playing centre-back. So, look, it's a hard call. It's a hard call. We haven't seen Emerson in a Spurs jersey. Look, if it's Doherty, if I was Vieira, I'd be putting Zaha on Doherty. If it's not Doherty, I think it's a call he's going to have to make during the game and maybe give him a bit on the left, give him a bit on the right and see where he gets more change and try and get him into the game.
Yeah, and if it is Emerson, the one that I do believe might be having his cameo feature for Spurs here, if it is Emerson, the case with him is that he's actually more defensively solid, from his stats from last season. He's more defensively solid than he is going forward, which would then suggest that, it's not like he's going to be like manhandler or anything, David, but, he is definitely one that can get stuck in. Maybe he's just more prone to get stuck in than the likes of Reguilón. Reguilón, I will say, we have to put respect on his name. He had an absolutely beautiful performance against Ismail Assar. Just kept him quiet, David, for the whole 90 minutes. Probably, even tucked him away, in like a nice little manger, nice little crib as well. Gave him his, his pacifier and whatever and everything. It just really seemed like after 10 minutes of Ismail Assar maybe getting into the game, it just felt like he went quiet for the whole game after that. And that was Watford's only source of, attack or creation. So, and Reguilón on his own just took him entirely out of the game, I would say by himself without even any help from Moon Boots or anything. So Reguilón, maybe a bit more, I would say maybe his defensive, capabilities or abilities should be given a bit more respect considering his last performance against Watford. But as well, if it is Emerson, I just would say for Zaha, it's not maybe the easiest options that he would probably like going up against these wingers. I think these fullbacks, both of them are very defensively solid. They're good at getting forward as well, both of them. They're very athletic fullbacks. Might be a bit of a struggle for Zaha.
Yeah, look.
If it is Emerson.
Yeah, well, just back to Reguilón quickly. Look, with Reguilón, he actually had a great game against Mahrez. Mahrez, likes to come in and have a shot or play that little curveball to the back post. It happened once, and it didn't happen again after that. Reguilón has actually, Jack, and as what we've seen, he has actually improved a lot defensively this year compared to last year. I do understand where some of the defensive doubts did come in last year because he was getting out so quick that players were just putting the ball by him, and he was finding it hard to slow down, and then they were in. But he seems to have rectified that this year, and he looks a lot better defensively. With Emerson, look, Jack, it's clear to see why we brought him. We can't compete with City and Chelsea. So we're going for the lean, mean, pressing, aggressive, winning machine. And Emerson fits right into that. He fits right into it. He's aggressive defensively and going forward. So I think he's going to be a perfect fit. Will the game come too soon? Some people might say yes. But look, for me, I don't think we paid 30 million to be giving Matt Doherty the game.
I'd love to hear that, Dave. I absolutely love to hear that. And as well with Reguilón, everybody check on his stats. I do believe he also has the most interceptions for us in this team by like a country mile as well, Dave. Like by a country mile, something like I think he even doubled, or is close to doubling the player that's in second on our team for interception. So Region is just unbelievable. I think it might even be 16 interceptions already, like this season or something insane. It really is. Like the guy is unbelievable. But moving on, we are going to go for a 4-3-3. We are going to kind of keep maybe a bit of that similar shape. I wouldn't say it'd be too similar to maybe the last game. Might be more kind of like a 4-2-3-1, but also could be kind of like the games, from Wolves, just a fluid 4-3-3 with one holding defensive mid. And this time, David, it could be Skippy, it could be Hotspur in that center defensive mid. Who are you going to go for?
Do you know what I was watching videos and photos today of Spurs training that was put out, Skip's training. So on that basis, I presume he's all right. He has no ill effects from the groin injury, and I'm going to put Skippy in there. And plus, Nuno was asked about Ndombele in the press conference, and he didn't exactly allude to say, yeah, I probably will give him a start. Maybe he might be on the bench, but he wasn't exactly like, even with some of the injury scares we have coming on that, we're going to definitely reintegrate him back into the team and this and that. So, look, I think you might see Ndombele maybe on the bench or that, but with Skip back in training, I think that's an indication that he might start.
And with Skip being there, then, David, that probably means Hotspur is going to be lining up probably here. It is possible, though, that Hotspur might line up on this side, David. Maybe it's probable. He's been here the whole season so far. It's probably where they will line him up. But, David, do you feel like he'd be better served on this side, maybe on the left side at center mid position, or be better served over here?
Look, I actually think he'd be better served on the left side, to be honest with you, Jack, with Conor Gallagher. Because Conor Gallagher is on their right side of the midfield, so it means he would be coming up against Dele Alli if Dele Alli was playing there. I think just to have Hotspur sitting on him make life difficult, because I firmly believe, Jack, I've watched their last 3 games, and I firmly believe looking at them, if you take out Conor Gallagher, you will eliminate their threat going forward, and you will beat Palace. And I would actually put Hotspur over that side because he is a bit more defensively minded with Dele Alli. Look, Dele Alli has been getting back superbly over the last few games. Let's give him credit for it. But I think Dele Alli will get a lot more change out of McCarter, who would be playing on Palace's left side of midfield, rather than out of Conor Gallagher. So it'll be interesting to see what Nuno does with this. But, Jack, for us, I think we will go with Hotspur on the left just for a bit of a tactical change. And like we've explained why, because Conor Gallagher will be playing on the right side of their midfield tray.
Yeah, I really do hope that Hotspur can at least, quiet somebody and also still continue off of that beautiful, offensive work that he had last game. But that means then, David, probably Dele is then the other center mid in this system, and possibly, like you were saying, Tanguy coming off the bench.
Yeah, look, I do think Dele Alli will start tomorrow 100%. Look, I think he's been very good. The only thing that annoys me at times is sometimes, he's a bit loose on the ball. But look, I think he'll be definitely given a shot tomorrow. Hopefully he can produce some creativity. If he doesn't, do I think Dele Alli might come off for Ndombele? I'm not sure. It depends how the game goes. It could end up being Skip that could come off, Hotspur drop into the middle, and then Ndombele come on then and let Ndombele and Dele Alli push further forward and maybe create a bit of havoc. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I definitely do think Dele Alli will start. He hasn't done anything that deserves to be dropped.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And he even, was our key player for this match, David. So I would like to see him play. I do think this is Dele's moment to maybe put away one of those chances that he kind of missed in previous games. It's his chance to create something that maybe he didn't before. I feel like he's been spectacular, but if we wanted to be a bit of perfectionist towards Dele, definitely has to, improve the offensive output for sure and the creativity for sure, because Hotspur has been absolutely outdoing him in that department, I would say. And it's not necessarily Hotspur's job to probably be that person. It is more Dele's job to be that person. But Dele, again, I would digress and say he's been absolutely immense for us. He has been immense for us. And Dele, we would love to see you continue it. The Don up top, Dave?
Yeah, look, it has to be, Jack. It's the one and only. There's no one there to compete with him. Look, for me, he has to perform tomorrow. I said it on our Tottenham TV earlier on, Jacko, that, look, for me, the rest of the team carried us the first 3 games without Kane. Put their bodies on the line. We've accumulated some injuries now because of it. So now it's time for Kane to come in and play his part and step up tomorrow. And I think he will, I think he will. I think he'll fancy himself against Joachim Andersen. And I think he'll get a brace tomorrow. I can't wait. It's going to be the return of the Don in a Tottenham shirt. I can't wait. It's going to be the second coming of Harry Kane.
I hope we see a bit of revenge against Gaeta, who we even explained in a Henry Wright earlier today had that spectacular performance against us, saving everything against us. So I would like to see maybe Harry Kane, bury one of these chances and just embarrass even him at one point, probably an outside, the box kind of shot like he did last time, where he kind of swerves it past him. And then maybe a little dink would be nice too, Dave. Just two ways to maybe embarrass him would just be nice for me. But right wing, Dave, I'm going to go with Lucas, go with the compatriot of Emerson, someone that probably might make Emerson's job even a bit easier, considering Lucas is such an energetic defensive forward. He's still obviously great at getting forward and beating past players and skinning players, but he's very, very, very aggressive, very good at pressuring in the final third, even kind of makes up probably at certain moments for when Harry Kane probably doesn't want to put too much effort defensively. Lucas and Emerson, great combination, don't you think?
Do you know what, Jack? You actually made a fantastic point there earlier as well. With them being able to speak the same language, maybe he can help get him through a game. He done it with Vinicius last season, didn't he? So, hopefully he can do the same with Emerson. Because Nuno did say that Emerson hasn't got great English yet. But Nuno can also speak Portuguese, so that'll help. But look, with Lucas, he was a bit disappointing, I'll be honest, against some of the last couple of games. For me, look, I want to see a big performance from him, and I think he will. Look, the guy hit the pre-season running, was absolutely immense against Man City, and I want to see him get back to that, and I think he will, I think he will. I'm expecting a big game from him tomorrow too.
I'd like to see a big game from him. All I will say is I think he made up for those kind of, almost kind of boring performances that he kind of had previously before the City game, Dave. Yeah, you're right. His Wolves performance was not spectacular. But I do think, when he came on for Bergwijn in the Watford game, he definitely showed a lot more than Bergwijn did that whole game. But when Lucas has started, apart from the City game, his Wolves performance wasn't too great, which probably deservedly made it so that he didn't start against Watford. But I think then it could be the other way around, where Bergwijn's performance wasn't too great against Watford. That means maybe Lucas comes in and puts in a shift. It's kind of just maybe those two kind of battling for these positions. But moving on to the left wing, Dave, Sonny, he is hurt. He's probably going to be out for this one. Almost confirmed, you might say, despite how great Nuno is at hiding everything going on at the camp. I'm going to go with Bryan Hill Messi. I think this is a great cameo performance for him, a great opportunity for him. It could also be Bergwijn, though, but then again, the reason why I might not go for him is just simply because he had like a gargantuan, almost massive ice block, attached to his ankle, David. So it is possible that Bryan Hill might actually just be given the nod for this one because he's also been in training the whole week.
Yeah, look, and not only that, he put in some good performances for the underage Spanish teams during the week as well. Look, a lot of people are talking about the lack of creativity and, they're singling out the midfield for it, the midfield trio. Maybe a Dele Alli at most. Yeah, Dele Alli could be more creative. But look, let's be honest. What have our wingers kind of created? What has Bergwijn created really when he's played? I know he did get an assist for some, but apart from that, what has he really, created in that department? So for me, why not give Bryan Hill the go? Why not give him a go? Look, at the end of the day, Son, from Nuno's words, it looks like he's out. It could be he could be out for a little bit of a period of games by the looks of it. But look, for me, Bergwijn came off with strapping during the week. There's no need to risk an injury there. You might need him for Thursday night against Rennes. So for me, look, throw in Bryan Hill. Let's see what he can do. He was very, very good against Pacos de Ferreira. And it looked like Harry Kane also enjoyed playing with him as well. He's very technical. He has an eye for a pass. And, I think he could be the man to pull Palace apart tomorrow.
Yep, and there it is, everybody. That's our 11. Hugo Lloris in goal. Tanganga, Jaffet Manhandler, right-sided center back. Moon Boots, Eric Dyer, left-sided center back. Emerson is going to get his debut in this upcoming game at right back. We do have Skippy, coming back from maybe that knock that he took. We're still going to expect him to play. That means that Hojbjerg and Dele will then follow with them. It just kind of just flows off the tongue, that midfield now. But I would say we would like to see Hojbjerg at that left-sided center mid position. It's possible it might not happen, considering that Dele's been more comfortable over there, but we would like to see it. Reguilón would be our left back, of course. He's been solid this season, and we are going to go for a front three of Lucas, Harry Kane, and Bryan Hill. would love to see Brian Hill play and would like to see Lucas and Emerson play together. I think the combination could be brilliant, actually, considering they're both very defensive. They probably will work for each other quite well. Lucas is a great influence on players. He knows what it means to fight for the badge, despite not really being necessarily, from the youth academy or being one of our own, Dave. I mean, multiple times when everybody else hasn't fought for the badge, you would say Lucas is the one that always can hold his head the highest in the way that he fights for the badge. So I think he could be that good influence on Emerson as well. And yeah, looking forward to this 11, Dave. I still think, despite all the injury concerns, this is a strong 11. I still think, a strong 11 and should be able to win this game.
No, look, it's more than enough to beat Palace, in my opinion. Look, midfield 3 is unchanged. Okay, you make one change across the back line and bring in a right back if you are going to play manhandler centre back. Apart from that, you have Lloris, Dyer, Tanganga and Reguilon all played very well over the last 3 games. So you're only making one change there. And of course, up top you have you have Harry Kane, who's back returning. You have Lucas outright, who maybe has a small dip in form. But you have Brian Hill, who's out to prove a point tomorrow. Look, I'm very, very excited. I think it's a very, very strong lineup. And we have to remember, like, a lot of them games that we won, no Harry Kane. Okay, Harry Kane played for Watford, but against City, no Harry Kane. Came off for a bit of a cameo against Wolves. And, you still have to get Romero into this team, So, look, it's all positives for me. I do think we have a bit more depth than what we did last season. Last season, we've been talking about Sissoko, Warrior, and stuff like that. We're not talking about them this season, so it's absolutely brilliant to see. And I'm fully confident going into this game tomorrow, Jack. I really am. But look, guys, there you have it. There is your predicted lineup. Let us know in the comment section below if you would make any changes, whether you agree or disagree with me and Jack. I want to know what you think of our little tactical change with Pierre M and Højbjerg and putting them out on the left of the tree just to, sort out Conor Gallagher and maybe, take the big boy look off him a little bit. Make sure you do smash that like button, guys. Make sure you smash the subscribe button if you're new. Look, make sure you do get out and check over flatcapeurotalk as well, guys. It's the new channel. Make sure you get over there and smash and subscribe. And next Monday, we will be dropping mine and Jack's Champions League preview on who we think is going to get out of the groups. So make sure you get over there and check that out, guys. We'll be back later on tonight at 9:30 with a preview. So I hope to see you all, guys, there.
And with a special gift for the Harris Army as well. We're not going to release it yet. We will announce it, during the preview. But for people like Dark Sun G, maybe in particular, I think it's going to be good news for you. That's all I can say. It's going to be good news in case you're able to catch this, Dark Sun G. But I'm not going to release it now, but it is good news.
No, it's definitely going to be good news. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it anyway, that's for sure. But look, until next time, in Nuno we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
In Nuno we trust.